speaker from A New Life. And our guest speaker this morning is James Atkinson. And James is the Community Engagement Coordinator for the West Valley in the Phoenix area. A New Life supports individuals and families in a range of situations by offering a wide range of programs designed to foster long-term economic stability and self-sufficiency. And James is here today to explain the services offered by A New Leaf and how maybe we can take some of this information and pass it on when appropriate while we're out on patrol. James.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
So, thank you so much for introducing me. As it was said, I'm with A New Leaf. I'm the Community Engagement Coordinator for the West Valley and for Phoenix area. It's great to be here. Fun fact, I grew up actually on the west side, so it is really, really important for me to be in this spot today. A New Leaf's mission is about helping families and changing lives. We go and offer a ton of services to the entire valley, all the way from Apache Junction out to Surprise. We've been in service for over 54 years. We started out on the east side, going and doing housing and domestic violence support. We have over 30 programs across the valley. 22,000 communities members have been served just this last year with our services. To kind of give you an idea of our scope of how we serve, these are all different programs that we have across, again, from Pima all the way out to here in Maricopa. So it's a lot of services, it's a lot of scatter. We're hoping to continue to grow just because we, as you notice, have a ton of resources out on the on the East Valley, and we're hoping to bring a little bit more of that here on the west side as well. One of our biggest things that we go and support is we have support services for sexual and domestic violence situations, emergency shelters. Our Autumn House is on our east side, but out here it would be Faith House, CAFA shelters, and our DV Stop. Some additional support within those services that we provide is court accommodants, counseling, our REACH program, and also educational resources for those that are in those situations, because sometimes you walk into a domestic violence shelter and you realize that there are actually a lot more needs from that person that's walking in than just escaping stuff, and there's a reason that they're kind of in that situation. So part of that is at Faith House, which is out in Glendale. Is also we provide transitional housing. So that's not just you're staying there for a few days to go and have some reprieve from your abuser or whatnot. You're actually going and you're in a safe spot, and we're trying to find you a good long-term stay somewhere. All right. We also have financial empowerment. Those programs look like our Mesa Can. That's going and making sure that if we have someone who's experiencing homelessness and they don't have a job, we're helping them find those resources. We're going and we're working and getting mock interviews for them. We're going and getting them that education like I spoke about earlier. Just trying to go and get them up off their feet so that they are not staying in the same cycles to stay in the positions that they're in. Additionally to that, because we also have housing services, which I'll get into in just a minute, we have educational support. That looks like 2 daycares that go and run from ages infancy all the way up to 5. Some of them are financial forgiveness, which is really awesome. One of our daycares is actually over 100 years old, which is super amazing. And then we also have our foster care program. So that's for anyone that is wanting to get licensing to become a foster care parent, and that we also have foster care services to become that. So that's a dual service that most places actually don't offer both. It's usually 2 separate offices. A little bit more about our main focus today, which is our housing and shelter services. We have 2 emergency shelters. One of them is actually out here on the west side. That's our West Valley Housing Center for families. And then we also have our East Valley Men's Center. Both of those programs go and resource each other. It's not saying that West Valley we can't help the men. We just are going to go and kind of filter them to other locations throughout our valley. And we can get into that in a little bit. We also have Bridge Housing. Bridge Housing is that combination of, again, right before we get into transitional housing. So that's that process of we don't know about about their tax documents, their federal documents. We don't know about like their IT documents. We're just trying to go and get them those resources to where we can go and actually get them into housing. We can actually get them into their next stage. Transitional housing, we have rapid rehousing like we talked about earlier. That looks like they have a certain amount of time to stay at a location. Usually it's about 120 days. And then we're either trying to get them an extension to stay a little bit longer till we can go and confirm that they're sustainable on their own, or that we've gotten them in affordable housing. Speaking of which, we have our permanent housing. So those are affordable housing places, one of which is our La Mesita community, that's on the east side, our Desert Leaf also on the east side, and our Art Space, that's more Phoenix Central, and then we have Homeward Bound, which is Phoenix Central. Homeward Bound is a really special place because it is for a 2-bedroom apartment. It is $9.99, and that includes their internet, and that includes their water, that includes their basically all their essential needs that they would need for housing. Additionally to that, one of those daycare facilities is actually on property. So then they're able to go and have a place to put their littles as they're going to work. And we go and we have the emergency help transportation where guaranteed it doesn't matter if the kids have their parents drop them off, their kids are able to get to school and back. So it's a really beautiful program. Homeward Bound is one of those things that we adopted 2 years ago and we're in the process of actually revamping. Alrighty. So the big one that's out here, our West Valley Housing Assistance Center. So we have some in-house stuff and then we have some outsourced stuff as well. With our West Valley Center for Clients Resources, it is a 7-apartment unit facility. So that is 7 units that we go and we have emergency housing for families. It is emergency housing, however, there is actually a wait list to get on it. So we do allow for folks to come in and have heat relief and stay for a little bit until we can go and get them onto that wait list and get them good temporary housing. And then to where they can eventually come into our facility or into a facility that is sooner available. We have workforce development, which again goes back into that finding them jobs. Sometimes you just have where 2 parents have lost jobs at the same time and their rent is due next month and they're not sure how they're going to be able to do that. Or you have a single mom who is out here on the west side and needs housing and needs help going and getting housing. Those resources are there. They're provided 3 meals a day, which is really important. We have a chef that comes in on the weekdays, and then weekends we have volunteers that come in and support. Additional service that we have that's out for the entire community, we are a hydration station, which also includes going in sometimes, if someone comes in and they're awfully lethargic and you can tell they've not eaten in a while, we do provide a small snack for them as well, and sometimes we'll go and give hygiene kits. It just depends on who's walking in and if they're in the process of maybe wanting to go into one of our programs to go and support themselves. We provide transportation services to and from any of our programs. That meaning if we have a man that walks in and he is just like, I'm tired of living on the street, I'm tired of doing this, I want to go and better myself. We have our East Valley Men's Center. Ashley, our program manager at West Valley, she's amazing. She'll go and she'll call up the director over at East Valley and she'll say, hey, can you hold a bed for me? And 9 times out of 10 we can. And we're able to go and provide that transportation to the East Valley Men's Center. One last thing that we do also have is our housing ID project, our homeless ID project. That's where, I don't know if you know this, but as I kind of said a few times, most people that come off the street, they don't have a driver's license. They don't know their social security number or have it anymore. They don't have their birth certificate. Those are all documents that you need to be able to get a job. So, or even just get like government help if you're someone. We had a very lovely woman who was experiencing homelessness and they were able to go and get her all her stuff. Unfortunately, she had some dementia, so she needed some aid to go and help her to do that. But it was able to help her get those ID information so she was able to get back on her welfare and things like that. And that's a service that we open up to the public. So you're always welcome to go and do that. It's 2 days a week. I think it's Tuesdays and Thursdays from 8 a.m. till noon, I believe. Alrighty. There's tons of ways that you can go and get involved with us personally, or as the posse yourself. Obviously, we do have giving efforts. We have our, if you ever wanted to come get a tour of the West Valley or any of our facilities, you're more than welcome to come set up one with me. Would love to show you around. It's a very big gym. Fun fact for you, it's actually one of the only housing, assisted housing facilities west of Glendale, which is crazy that it's 7 units for that entire area coverage, right? So you can always do volunteer opportunities. Like I stated, weekdays we have a chef, but weekends we don't. So it's usually donations that are given to us to be able to feed our folks. Additionally to that, you can always go and do any special events we have. We have a couple that are coming up actually this holiday seasons that we would love to invite you folks to come hang out with us, see what we're about, see what our folks are like, all that good jazz. Ooh, there we go. Okay, a little bit more about volunteer opportunities. There's 2 ways you can, or a couple of different ways you can volunteer. Individual volunteer opportunities, that's where you say, hey, I want to become a volunteer with you guys. I want to go and help with the clients. I want to go and be forward facing. You would go through our process of onboarding. That is screening process, that is fingerprint clearance cards, that is going and getting a little bit of our NEO training, which is our basically our new employee training, because you do have to come with a few resources to be able to work with our folks. Group volunteer opportunities, that's more about having groups come in and build those hydration kits that we give out to people at the when we have folks come in off the street. Snack bags for kids that come in with families that are trying to just get resources that are off the street. We give them snacks, we give them toys, we give them just stuff to go and kind of be sustained until they can get to their next step. So you can come help build that stuff as well. You can also always do a donation drive. One last way you can volunteer, however, I don't think that that's applicable here, is you could do an internship. So if you know anyone that might want to do an internship, you're more than welcome to go and send them our way as well. That's kind of all I had on a surface level. Does anyone have any bigger questions that they would like to ask?
Do you have any facilities or anything for older people?
So we go and we do have facilities that do take older folks. Our East Valley Men's Center doesn't have an age limit. And also similarly, domestic violence doesn't have an age limit. It can happen whenever. So it's not that we don't have resources for folks that are a little older. It's just that it's integrated into some of our other programs. Obviously family, it probably is maybe less so, but we have had at our family center out here on the west side where someone had a grandmother who came with them. And it's like, well, we're not gonna say Graham can't come in, like that's messed up. So we do have those resources, it's just a little bit less so. Yeah. Yeah.
Where's your West Valley located?
Our West Valley Housing Center is right off of Grand and, El Mirage, yes. It's right over there in that corner. Yeah.
How is your program financed?
Our program is financed. Right now, it's kind of scattered out. It depends on what region we're in, but the West Valley Housing Center, that one's specifically shared between City of Surprise, Peoria, and I believe Goodyear. They all came in together, but we are looking for kind of alternative funding for our West Valley Center. Due to some of the budget cuts and stuff like that, it's just changed stipulations. Surprise used to be our #1 help, and now they're just trying to go and find resources because they unfortunately can't sustain us for much longer. But they're doing their best to go and get us resources, and we really, really appreciate that. So I think, oh yeah, oh Tina, yeah.
If I'm understanding it correctly, then if we, even though the West Valley is a family residential center, anybody can go there initially to find out what additional help they could get and maybe even get transportation to the appropriate location?
So yes, that's true. It might not happen right away. It might be where we have to call a third party, but we will always go and be able to resource someone. Our best times to come is obviously from 8 to 5. That's when we have the most people at our West Valley location. We we are able to go into a lot more resource, but we are open to the public. So, but yes, you can go and send people our way to go and get that. Just obviously, I think we kind of touched on it a little bit earlier. If you have someone who is under the influence or that is having a moment, as far as for like they've definitely be under the influence of some form of drugs, we just ask you please don't send them to our location. We do have families. You can always go and call us about how to get resources. There's actually a pamphlet back there with a number you can call, just to keep everyone safe. I think we also talked about the importance of recognizing that if you are out in the community and you see someone, if they are at a harm to themselves or to anyone else or to property, just call the sheriff's department out here. That's a lot better of an option just because they're going to be able to help you out a lot better, and it keeps people safe in the long run. If they're going and they're experiencing any health stuff, call the fire department, call the correct people to go and help and handle those stuff, right? Did we have any other questions up here? Sorry, you guys are behind me.
And you said there was an 800 number?
Yeah, so there is an 800 number. It's in the back, and that will go and has a couple of different options on there. Our pamphlet also has kind of like a skip guide almost of like where to go with certain things. So like there's a domestic violence pamphlet out there, right? So you have a woman who is on the street who has just been kicked out of her home because of XYZ reasons, and she's experiencing domestic violence at home and she's just trying to keep safe. You can give her the Faith House pamphlet, or you can give her that information, and that's a 24-hour hotline that you can call and we can get her services type of a thing. And also, we don't do just women. At our domestic violence shelters, men also get abused. So we have where that is also an option. It is just fleeing a domestic violence situation. Any other questions? Did I see your hand?
Are you a 501?
Pardon?
Are you a 501?
Yes. Any other questions? Alrighty, I think that's it then.